Greetings gastronauts, this is KeefCooks, I'm Keef, and today I'm going to do something very basic and very tasty. I'm going to make mushroom ketchup. And this was requested by Brenda Rigdon in sunny Florida. And I've got to tell you, I've never had this before. I've heard of it, but I don't think I've ever seen it on sale in shops in the UK. So I'm quite keen to try it, and it looks pretty easy. So if you enjoy this video, give it a like, share, subscribe, etc. And let's get on with it. A mushroom ketchup. Right, ingredients. Mushrooms, obviously. So I've got 250 grams of big flat mushrooms, 250 grams of chestnut mushrooms, and 20 grams of dried porcini mushrooms. So there's actually 40 grams in here, and so I'll use half of that. And oh my goodness, this little thing costs £4.25. Goodness me. Anyway, delicious umami. And a medium onion. I've also got 60 ml of malt vinegar, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, and 2 tablespoons of Henderson's relish, or if you can't get that because you don't live in Yorkshire or UK now, you can use that other thing, Worcestershire sauce. Juice of 1 lemon, salt and ground black pepper to taste, and a teaspoon of nutmeg. We need to rehydrate the porcini mushrooms, so I've got some boiling water, about 100 ml, and I'll add the dried mushrooms. And those need to stand for 5 or 10 minutes, and already I'm getting the aroma. It's amazing. Woody, like wood. I need to do some heavy duty chopping, so I'll start with the onion. I don't know if you noticed, I've got a new chef's knife, and I was going to splash out and get a Wusthof 20cm classic icon, but they're about 140 quid, and it's just a little bit too much. And I read a review of this. It's from ProCook. It uses exactly the same steel as the Wusthof and pretty similar design, and it was very highly recommended in the article that I read, and it cost less than £40, and I've had it a month or two and I'm really pleased with it. Right, here we go. I'm going to start sweating the onions, so you want to heat some oil in a heavy bucket pan, not too hot actually, and then put these in, get them coated in oil, turn the heat down as low as you can, and just put a lid on and let them sweat for 5 or 10 minutes, and while that's happening we'll chop the mushrooms up. So just a word about the mushrooms. You don't have to use exactly what I've said here, although, you know, the wild mushrooms, the porcini, are quite important because they're very strongly umami flavoured, but you know, you can use whatever you can get. And these days, if you buy them from a supermarket, they're probably going to be nice and clean, and you know, there might be some tiny bits of growing medium on them which you can just flick off with your finger, but there's no need to wash them. Some people go completely if you mention putting a drop of water near a mushroom. Okay, so choppy. Now we can add the mushrooms to the onions, and maybe add some more oil if you think you need to. And we'll just get those all coated and let those cook down for 5-10 minutes. They'll release a lot of liquid and take up less volume. And you can see here the liquid is pooling at the bottom of the pan. So what you need to do now is take the lid off, turn up the heat a little bit, and try and get that to evaporate. Once you've got a dryish mixture, you can add the porcini mushrooms, separate those from their liquid, but keep the liquid in case we need it later on. So let those cook for about 5 minutes, and then add all the other ingredients. So that's the nutmeg, the vinegar, the sugar, the lemon juice, and the Henderson's relish or Worcestershire sauce, and then salt and ground black pepper to taste. Okay, I've tasted it and seasoned it and tasted it again, and it's not very nice. So what I'm going to do is leave it to cool down for a couple of hours, because I've got to go out anyway, and then we'll come back to it and see maybe it's matured, because really, you know, the vinegar is quite astringent, and I might need to add more sugar, but I don't know yet. We'll see later. Okay, it's the next day, so what we need to do is turn this into a puree. So you can do it in a conventional blender. I don't have one at the moment, so I'm going to use this stick blender. It may take some time. Actually, I think this might scratch the enamel on this cast iron thing, so I'm going to put it into a stainless steel pan and finish it off. Looks wonderful, doesn't it? Okay, I've just had a little taste and it's quite vinegary. So I'm going to add a teaspoon of sugar and a little bit of the water that the porcini mushrooms was soaked in. Stir that in. Okay, I reckon that'll do. So you can stick that in a jar and spread it on toast, spread it on like grilled steak or whatever. Okay, spread it on toast. Actually, that's quite nice. It's still a bit too vinegary, but So now I've got to scour all the shops and find some and buy it and find out what it's meant to taste like. But I reckon we'll get through this pretty easily. So yeah, that's really interesting. You should give it a go. It's unusual. So thanks for watching and see you next time.